Have you ever cried to God until your pillow was soaked with tears, yet nothing changed? You prayed, you fasted, you believed, but heaven seemed completely silent. Meanwhile, other people receive the very blessing you've been praying for. You begin to wonder, God, have you forgotten me? But what if I told you that God's silence does not mean God's absence? And what if your delay is actually proof that God is preparing something bigger than you can imagine? Stay with me until the end, because one Bible verse changes everything about waiting. Part 1. Waiting is one of God's greatest classrooms. Nobody enjoys waiting. We want answers now. We want healing now. We want the breakthrough today. But throughout the Bible, God rarely worked in a hurry. Why? Because God is often more interested in preparing the person than delivering the blessing. Imagine receiving a gift before you're ready to keep it. Many blessings become burdens when they arrive too early. That's why Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." Notice, not our time, His time. God doesn't work according to our calendar. He works according to His perfect purpose. Part 2. Abraham waited, but God never forgot. Let's look at Abraham. God promised him a son, but years passed. Nothing happened. 10 years. Still waiting. 15 years. Still no child. 20 years. The promise still looked impossible. Can you imagine how many nights Abraham questioned God? How many times Sarah cried herself to sleep? Yet God never broke His promise. When Abraham was nearly 100 years old, Isaac was finally born. Genesis 21, 1-2 tells us that the Lord did exactly what He had promised. Notice something incredible. God wasn't late. He arrived at the exact moment He had planned. If Isaac had come earlier, the miracle would not have been as powerful. Sometimes God delays the answer because He wants everyone, including you, to know that only He could have done it. Part 3. Joseph's delay saved nations. Now think about Joseph. God gave him dreams of greatness when he was young, but instead of becoming a ruler, he became a slave. Then he was falsely accused, then thrown into prison.
Imagine sitting inside that prison cell. Wouldn't you wonder if God had abandoned you? Yet every painful chapter was preparing Joseph for the palace. If Joseph had become governor immediately after receiving the dream, he wouldn't have gained the wisdom, humility, and character needed to save millions of people during famine. Years later, Joseph said something unforgettable. In Genesis 50:20, he declared, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." What looked like delay was actually divine preparation. Part 4. Even Jesus experienced delay. Here's something many Christians overlook. Even Jesus allowed delays. In John 11, Lazarus became seriously ill. His sisters urgently sent a message asking Jesus to come. But Jesus didn't rush. He waited. By the time he arrived, Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. Everyone believed it was over. But Jesus had a greater plan. He wasn't just going to heal a sick man. He was going to raise a dead man. Because of the delay, people witnessed one of the greatest miracles recorded in Scripture. Sometimes God waits, not because He can't help, but because He's preparing something that will reveal His glory in a greater way. Part 5. What God is doing while you wait. While you think nothing is happening, God is working behind the scenes. He's strengthening your faith. He's teaching you patience. He's protecting you from things you cannot yet see. He's arranging people you'll meet, opening doors you never imagined, closing doors that would have destroyed your future. Just because your eyes cannot see God's hands doesn't mean His hands are still. Remember what Isaiah 40:31 says, "But those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. Waiting isn't wasted time, it's preparation time. So today, if you're still praying for healing, don't stop believing. If you're still waiting for a job, don't lose hope. If you're praying for your family, keep trusting. If you're waiting for God's direction, stay faithful. Because God's delays are never God's denials. The same God who remembered Abraham, the same God who lifted Joseph, the same God who called Lazarus out of the tomb, has not forgotten you. Your story is still being written, and perhaps, right now, heaven is preparing an answer greater than anything you've been asking for. Remember Psalm 27:14. Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart, and wait for the Lord. Your waiting has a purpose. Your tears are not invisible, your prayers are not ignored, and your miracle may be much closer than you think. Before you go, remember this: a delayed answer is not a denied prayer. If this message encouraged you, tap like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another faith-building message. And tell us in the comments, I'm trusting God's timing. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.